Well, it's the last day in the car. Thank goodness. We picked up my truck this afternoon. Apparently, one of the what did he say? One of the valves in the transmission sort of popped out of place. Dislocated one of the springs. When he's explained it to me, I'm like, oh, this is what people do when I explain to them what's wrong with their complex boiler systems. I'm like, okay, yeah. Anyway, we took it for a test drive yesterday, and it's we're gonna change the transfer case oil and test a couple things while I got it up on the rack and make sure that she's ready to roll. You know, I only got 700,000 K on that thing, and I ain't buying a new one either. It would cost me over 100K to replace that truck. So I fully intend to make that the last truck I ever drive. That's the plan. And let's talk about Mike Holmes, the original fake influencer. I mean, I can't prove it here on IG, but people that know me know that I have hated Mike Holmes since the day he showed up. And I realize hate's a strong word, but that Chongo, literally, gets debriefed by all the real trades, and then walks in there and says, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and brings in the sledgehammer and smashes everything, and then turns to the camera with his stupid little catchphrase, we're going to make it right. Well, apparently, he's been lending his name to whoever will pay him and now he's being sued for $8 million. And I suspect that's the tip of the iceberg. So I would, word to the wise, it's a cautionary tale. I'd be a bit worried about who I endorse and who I don't, and what kind of liabilities that opens me up to. As I've said before, along with getting your ticket, number one, taking some business courses, number two, getting an accountant that hates the government, number three, and getting yourself an expensive, like $500, $600, $700 an hour litigation lawyer. That's what you need. Those are the four things that if you're going to run your own business, those are the four things you need. You don't need to be an influencer. And I think that's I guess that's what I'm seeing. Having talked to dozens and dozens and dozens, probably 50 people over the last couple of weeks over these trade shows, that most of the people that are trying to be influencers are struggling in business or aren't quite sure they can finish their ticket. So they're looking for an easy way out. And I'm here to tell you, and certainly there are exceptions to this rule, but there are no easy way outs. There's just not. There's the right way to do it, and then there's the easy way out, and that'll eventually come and bite you in the ass. I don't know who I said it to, but if you get your ticket, then you are beholden to no one. To no one. You are your own man or woman and get to take that wherever you want. It's your responsibility to continue building your skill set. Without that ticket, and I can speak from a vast amount of experience, when I was running my big company, or mid-sized company, I would have guys that would come in that were my age now, 50 plus, and say, I've been in the trade for 25 years. I'm like, great, let me see your paperwork. He's like, well, I've only taken my first year. I'm like, well, our first years at that time, we're making $15 an hour. I'll do you a solid and pay you 17 and see what you can do. And they would lose their minds. That's not fair. I'm like, how is it not fair? You're the one that decided not to go to school. I'm sorry, but the world that we live in now is not based on, despite what people are trying to push, rainbows and unicorns. Like, it's based on merit, your education, what you have on paper, and then your ability to do so. And so, we weren't trying to fill any quotas. We were trying to find the best people qualified to do these jobs. And I think that's where most small businesses are, is trying to find the most qualified people that they can to do the job that needs to be done. I do completely understand that in the States, it's not regulated like it is here in Canada, the apprenticeship process, and so they call everybody technicians. I mean, they've started doing it here. Here, take this 60-day course and you're now a plumbing technician, which basically means that you're a high-pressure salesman and don't know how to fix shit, but you can replace stuff. Anyway, I do think it's... I couldn't express how delighted I was to see that Mike Holmes is in trouble. He's doing some big, or did, it fell apart. He was doing a big subdivision down in Okotoks, which is just south of me, south of Calgary. Everybody was all abuzz about it, and it totally cratered because, the guy's a charlatan as far as I'm concerned. And I do think he's looking a little weather-beaten these days. You're welcome to speculate on what he's taking a beating from. But anyway, it just is the point that you're if you don't have the tickets to do what you're supposed to do, nor the education, and you base that on others, man, you're on a stack of cards, and it doesn't take much to knock that down. So, like I say, get your ticket, get your education, and then if you decide you want to, build a business, then take some business courses, which most of them are free. I did some checking after my little rants. There's like at least a dozen of them that you can take that are free. That'll certainly sort of, immerse you in the lexicon of accounting and bottom lines and debits and credits and all the rest of that stuff and how all that stuff works. So that's what I'd suggest, followed with, I'll say it again and then I'll be done, an accountant that hates CRA or the IRS and a good litigation lawyer, and you should be off to the races. And you'll need to employ both of those people, no doubt, several times as you sort of build your brand and your business. I wish you luck. Those are my thoughts, not yours. Next time from the truck.